right, y'all. So we're gonna get started in just a second. Get this road on the show. The show on the road. As soon as I get my fan plugged into my laptop, we'll get started. Alrighty. So today's show for Monday Night Raw was pretty mundane today. So we're not going to spend too much time on it. We're going to keep it short and sweet. I promise you, we will not be on here for longer than an hour. Kind of like it on full screen, but I can't see. Hopefully, one of these days, when I get my secondary stuff, I'll be able to have it on full screen. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. We're going to skip around a bit and get some things out the way that really didn't lend any credence to the show, in my opinion, and wasn't necessary. I mean, it just seems like this was to sell tickets and not necessarily to, I guess, to be seen on television or for him to do anything. So let's talk about Cody. Cody was scheduled to be at Raw today. I'm not quite sure as to why, but he was. He cut a promo on The Rock and the Bloodline. And, a lot of people was like, okay, you need to move on. Well, right now he has nothing to move on to. In this current moment, they're getting ready to start building his next feud or his first feud for his title. Now, they've already done that with Damian Priest, and he's just waiting on his opportunity to see who his opponent is going to be. However, Cody was at the show and he cut a long promo. He had a couple dad jokes, and then he introduced Jey Uso. The biggest takeaway from his promo was, of course, his addressing of The Rock and making sure that, The Rock knew he fully understood that The Rock still has a lot left in him and that he's going to have to deal with him later. And basically what he said is if I'm going to bleed, then you're going to bleed. I said, oh, okay. So I mean, some people liked it and others didn't. I felt like this was an unnecessary promo for Cody to cut. He didn't need to be there today, although I understand why he was there. This was a way to lead into Jey Uso coming out there for his match against Balor. Now, in this particular lead up, Cody did ask. He said, hey, he prefaced it by saying that I have to say thank you to a man named Seth Rollins because he promised to be my shield, and he definitely was my shield. And he wanted to extend that same olive branch to Jey Uso, to which Jey Uso said, I got to do me and you got to do you. Let me handle my thing on my own. We done got everything else out the way. Now it's time for us to put in the work we've been trying to put in. Cody was like, if you're sure, cool. I'm going to roll out until we eat again. Some of y'all on Twitter didn't like that too much. I see y'all on Twitter talking about, and this your champion. Let me be frank. There were times where Roman Reigns was just as corny. Okay? Now, this was a lower level tier for Cody. But of course, it was funny. It was a little dad jokey. Y'all gonna have to give Cody a minute. I could understand it better if it had been 2 months. Cody had at least one feud under his belt, and he's still talking about the bloodline and everything he had to do and all this other shit. Could fully understand that. But Cody Rhodes is only 8 days. It's only been almost it'll be 2 weeks, maybe. We're not that far removed. Like, we're 1 week out from Mania fully out from Mania. So let's relax a little bit and give Cody some breathing room. Let him have a little bit of space to set this up because you need time. And that's the biggest thing I'm not liking about what I'm seeing in the IWC, because when everybody else gets to be champion, everything seems to flow for everybody else. They get time to build, they get time to do things, except for Damian Priest. He's suffering the same, I guess you could say, the same nitpicking that Cody is suffering as of right now. So y'all got to give these people time to set up the next storylines for the championships and everything like that. Speaking of championships, let's go back to some other stuff. I forgot to take the SmackDown stuff down from Friday, y'all. I'm lazy. I did not do top commenter of the day, and I apologize. I was trying to get in this shit and get it done, honey. Okay? So my bad. Top commenter of the day. Boom. There we go. It's up. It is up. Degree really paid off for the cipher. Okay, that's Alexis. Alexis, unfortunately, you was in here a little bit too early, so you can't be top commenter of the day. But young boy Jay was in here on time. He was top commenter of the day. He was numero uno. Kayla was number 2. Sasha was number 3. Nika's number 4. And B. Jeffers is number 5. Okay, so those are my top 5 commenters of the day. All right, so okay. What about Sammy? I don't understand. Like, what about it? Now, I saw the match with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Sami Zayn beat Chad Gable. As far as I know, I haven't known Sammy to win in Montreal. It's possible that it's happened before, but I just right off don't remember it. The match was good from what I understand. But then Chad Gable turned on him in the end, which is expected. So I don't know what exactly did I miss? Do we have to talk about? Oh, his entrance. Oh, okay. Because what we saw in terms of the match quality was great. The ending was pretty. Well, did I expect it? No. I legitimately thought that Chad was going to get that title from Sammy. But Sammy was able to win. He finally got the W in his hometown. So saying that, I kind of figured that Chad Gable was going to turn on Sammy because he just frustrated. He's in his feelings, and I don't blame him for that. However, I do feel like she is like on 1,000 about the camera transition. Well, the new guys that they hired for WWE and their transitions after Kevin Dunn left, I mean, everything seemed to be very fluid. The only thing I don't like about it, and it's not nothing WWE is doing, is that there's not enough security up there to keep these people from getting in the way. Like, I can understand them standing on the sides and taking pictures and all that, but they literally will put their cameras in them people's faces. That irritates my soul, and I really wish they would not do that. I was like hoping that they would back up so Jey Uso could at least walk through, but them niggas was still in the way. Like, he barely got an opportunity to get out the way. He had to push a fan out the way so he could get to Sammy on time, because he almost didn't get there on time because the dude literally stopped and stood in front of him. It was like, get the fuck out the way, bro. But Nicole's right. The transition from Jay to Sammy was really cool. And then we got to see Sammy's entrance. It was really long, and it was just a lot of the fans in there were over the top, screaming, loving Sami Zayn for being there. And you gotta love that for Sammy, because being a hometown hero, it is a great feeling for a lot of the superstars. But to win in your hometown is even better. And Sammy did beat Chad Gable, but Chad Gable was not a happy camper about that. He ended up attacking Sammy in front of his family and beat the brakes off of Sammy. His frustrations and the distraughtness of losing just took him out. Speaking of the transitions, Jay Uso did go up against Finn Balor. One thing I want y'all to pay attention to when it comes to Finn Balor and Damian Priest more specifically was in the back. Damian Priest obviously is the new de facto leader of Judgment Day since Rhea is out, which I'm going to get to Rhea Ripley in a second. But Damian Priest was talking to Finn, and Finn before that was telling him, like, hey, when you talk about getting those tag team titles back, Damian completely bypassed that conversation and was like, you need to focus on Jey Uso and get him together tonight. And I was just like, so you're not gonna address the tag team titles at all? I said, okay. Straight up just walked past it like he ain't hear it. He didn't know nothing about it. And I was just like, that's suspicious. That's weird. I was like, so you just gonna act like he ain't say nothing to you for real? Now, one thing I do want to address too is Jey Uso, because Kathy asked him about his brother Jimmy. She asked him how, he felt, and he clearly was, distraught, but he said, I asked him to come with me. I told him to come with me. He refused. So it is what it is, essentially. So I don't know. A lot of people think that Jay is on his last leg as a single superstar, and eventually he's going to join back up with his brother. And then Roman's going to return later on, and it's going to be Bloodline versus the new era of the Bloodline. And that's how they're going to set things up. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm interested. I'm more interested in watching them while Jimmy's out for the time being, because he's going to be out for a little bit given what we saw. I would prefer that they give Jimmy a run on an opposite show from Jimmy and let him build himself up as well. He did not have the same opportunity to build himself up the way that his brother did. And unfortunately, that also contributed to the lack of interesting match quality that they had at WrestleMania. Jimmy had not been built up enough as a heel against his brother in order for you to be truly interested. And that also lends credence to the diversifying of their match, not of their matches, but of their move sets, and really adding new things. Like, it would have worked had Jimmy had other feuds on SmackDown outside of his brother that might have sharpened him a bit better as well. But they chose to go the route that they went, and that was a flop match for them, and that really messed them up. But we're gonna move on from that, because I could talk about that for a while, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. So let's talk about Liv Morgan and Rhea Bloody Ripley. Okay. Rhea Ripley had to relinquish her women's championship today due to an injury. Now, Michael Cole said the injury could have happened at WrestleMania, and it also could have been made worse by Liv Morgan's attack on last Monday Night Raw. So basically, her arm is in a sling. She is said, from what I saw, multiple sources have reported that she has a collarbone injury. Now, I'm not sure if that's 100% true, because I haven't seen anybody go into full depth where there was some definitive information about her injury. So take that with a grain of salt. But as you can see, her arm is in a sling. So she is gonna be out for a considerable amount of time. Now, online, I saw a lot of people in their feelings saying that Rhea shouldn't have to relinquish her title. Roman never had to relinquish his. And to that, I say Roman Reigns was not injured and he was cleared to compete. Rhea Ripley is not. She is not cleared to compete. If you notice, no one touched Rhea Ripley today. Rhea Ripley only attacked the guard, one of the security guards. Liv Morgan never came close enough to Rhea Ripley for her to do any more damage to her arm. So if you really paid attention, they were very protective of her coming out there, relinquishing her title, and she is not allowed to compete. She cannot compete in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. So Rhea Ripley is injured and she is going to be out for the considerable future. How long she's going to be out depends on Rhea and the doctors and her rehabbing. I don't know if she has to have surgery or any of those things, but we'll just have to wait and see. If you keep an eye on her socials, maybe she will post that. I hope that this won't interfere with her and Buddy Murphy's wedding, because I feel like that was something that she was getting ready to gear up to go do for a little bit and then pop back up. Like taking like 2 weeks off, maybe a week, maybe 2 to 3 weeks off from WWE isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we're talking months and months where she could be gone because of this injury. So that's the difference. Now, Rhea cut a speech. She was very upset, but she went after Liv Morgan specifically because she was pissed that she had to give up her title. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, and some of y'all might not like what I got to say, but whether you be cool or come out of the bag on me, it really don't matter. Liv Morgan is justified in her actions in terms of the storyline. Let me reiterate, Liv Morgan is justified in terms of the kayfabe storyline that we are watching. Not in Rhea Ripley's true injury, in the kayfabe storyline that we have been watching. Everybody clear? All hearts and minds are clear. Before I say what I got to say, make sure you are literally paying attention to what I am saying, because a lot of you respond off of emotion and you don't think. So let me reiterate one more time. Liv Morgan is justified in her behavior in terms of the kayfabe storyline. Now, some months back, last year, Liv Morgan was the one who was put on the shelf and was not able to compete. Rhea Ripley had no remorse for taking out her arm and putting her on the shelf. In fact, she bragged about it on multiple occasions and made that one of her talking points when talking about how dominant she was as a champion. Is that not what happened? I don't know. Come on, somebody. Is that not what happened? Because that's what I remember. I remember Rhea Ripley coming out there gloating, having the grandest of times about taking out Liv Morgan and having her shoulder almost ripped from her socket, how she was a dangerous woman and no one could stop her. That is what happened. Is it not? He said, this happened. That is what happened. Storyline wise, it is a full circle moment. Thank you very much. That is what happened. So now we come back to this where Liv Morgan has now injured Rhea Ripley. They've decided to go with it as a part of the storyline, which to me is smart. Because now you've got some real twosomeness to this title fight that they're gonna have for the next week. Because next week the girls are gonna be fighting for that championship. They're not waiting. They crowning the champion next week. Do you hear me? Okay. So now we come to the point where Liv Morgan is the one who's like, karma's a bitch. And I'm looking online and everybody's mad. Why? When Rhea Ripley did it, it was cool. Right? It was funny. Why? Because mommy's always on top. But when mommy's now at the bottom, when mommy's licking hot garbage juice, everybody wants to be in their feelings. I'm gonna remind y'all of a little something. I'm gonna give you a little recording. I want you to look at something.
Okay? My saying is this. Everyone thinks it's funny when I'm being disrespected. But then when I get disrespectful, nobody laughs. Why aren't you laughing? It was so funny when you were disrespecting me. It was so funny. But then when I take it to my level, because there are always levels. So when I take it to my level, all of a sudden everybody stops laughing. And that's where I was with.
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all can be mad about her all y'all want to, but if this wasn't real, if this was not a real injury for Rhea Ripley, would you be saying the same thing? I'm sorry, but Liv Morgan is justified in her behavior towards Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley did the same thing to her. The same thing. She did the same thing to her. What was she supposed to do? Go back there and tell Rhea Ripley, oh girl, I can't wait till you come back. And none of you hoes would do that shit. And you know damn well you wouldn't. None of you hoes would do that shit. Every last one of y'all would be putting that hoe right in her place. You be right there in her face, laughing at her and digging in her shit, and you know it. And you know it. And y'all know y'all ain't shit. Y'all know y'all ain't. Now I might be a face girl, but right is right and wrong is wrong, bitch. And Liv Morgan was wronged by Rhea Ripley. And bitch, the crows, the fucking hens, the roosters have come to roost, bitch. Now y'all can be mad about it all you want to, but it is what it is. It don't matter if the girl get the championship or not. None of that matters. What matters is she done did what she came back and said she was gonna do, at least part of it. Okay? You can be mad about it all you want to, baby. You can cuss it out. You can stand behind Rhea Ripley if that's what you want to do. That's your business. That's your business. But what you can't deny is that Liv Morgan was justified. That you can't deny. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. And if you say she wasn't, you're a goddamn liar. You are lying. You're lying. That's just like saying Roman wasn't justified for hitting Seth Rollins in the back during his match with Cody Rhodes. He damn sure was, because that shit happened to him. And I wasn't mad at him for it. I was like, if you think I wasn't gonna take revenge, you're crazy. I had the moment and I'm damn sure gonna took it. And that's exactly what she did. So I don't know why y'all mad. I don't know why y'all mad. Go ahead, you can stand with her. You can stand beside her. You can be her shield like Seth was to Cody. You can do all of that. But you can't deny what I said. Yes. Because what I said is the truth. Well, you ain't going to be able to forget about her now because her ass going to be on TV. Liv and them tape-ins can count their day. Listen, her tape-ins wasn't the business, but hell, 90% of the women in the WWE that wear tape-ins ain't the business. I'm just saying. What she said wasn't no lie. Everyone big mad or no about Liv revenge on to Rhea when Rhea did the same exact thing to her and put Liv on the shelf for the month. So now Rhea turned, and what goes around comes around. Payback is karma. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't laugh at people's demise. Her demise is separate from her storyline demise. That's different. And I think that's where y'all are making your confusion. And I think that's where a lot of y'all are making y'all assume. That's why y'all are basing it off of that. And that's fine. Live your best life. But I can separate church and state. When it comes to this, WWE has decided to use the injury as a means of getting her out, getting the crowd to turn on Liv, and letting Liv be a heel for now. And that works for them. Because either way, the crowd was going to turn on Liv anyway, because she was the last one who attacked the girl. So all of that is fine. I ain't laughing at Rhea Ripley's demise. Y'all know me better than that. You come on now. Come on now. You know me better than that. I would never, ever, ever laugh at somebody suffering an injury because it wasn't supposed to be this way. Okay. She was supposed to get attacked, but the injury wasn't supposed to be that severe. You feel me? So my thing is this. We're talking about the storyline. The storyline that we have seen, Rhea Ripley's demons have come to bite her in the ass. And that's just the truth. Y'all could be Team Rhea all you want to. I am on nobody's side. I am neutral. I want Rhea to come back and be the dominant champion that she was for the last couple of months that she was champion. And the last couple of months that she actually was defending it, she was a phenomenal champion. No doubt about that. I want her to come back and be dominant. I don't mind Liv Morgan being a heel on the roster right now either. Do I need Liv to be champion? No. I would prefer if they put the title on Nia Jax. And y'all know I don't even fuck with Nia Jax like that. But I would prefer that she would get the championship because to me, if you want to make sure your champion is a dominant one, you put it on the next most dominant bitch on your roster. And right now, it's her. It's her. So Jane, why you jumping down after? Because I ain't jumping down nobody's throat. I ain't jumping down nobody's throat. I'm telling you the real. Y'all told me to keep it real. I'm keeping it real. Because that's the truth. Y'all in the comments responded to me. I'm only responding to y'all. So that's your business. You ain't got to watch nothing she doing. They gonna do what they do with her regardless. So it doesn't matter if you like it or not, if you want it to happen or not. That is of no consequence. It is irrelevant. They're gonna do what they want to do, and whether you watch it or not, that's your business. That's all I'm saying. But I stand by what I said. I'm not changing it. I'm not switching over because I'm right. That's the bottom line. I am correct. Period. Whether you live it, whether you love it, whether you watch it, whether you don't, it doesn't matter. I am right. And that's not even me trying to brag. That's just facts. Now, after they got done with Rhea Ripley's segment and the segment with they had a match. Who did they have a match with after that? It was Ivar and Sheamus, because Sheamus returned to Raw today. He did really good. Sheamus is looking real thickums. I was like, okay, Sheamus with the thick boy. Sheamus been living good these last couple of months, honey. Sheamus been living his best life. All right. Anyway, Sheamus always been a thick Irish man. Okay, he always been real thick. But anyways, he came back, had a great match with Ivar. Really liked that match. Loved watching it. It was fun. Them two big dudes are some of the most agile big dudes I've ever seen in my life, especially Ivar. But see, if I had to be Oba Femi, I would have came out there and messed up his life. I would have tore his ass up. But they don't be thinking like me. Anyways, Sheamus looked great. He had a great match. He was very excited to be back and highly welcomed by Montreal. And of course, he went out there with Michael and Pat and was giving them all the love in the world and was just excited and living his best life, child. So shout out to Sheamus, because Sheamus was living his best life. Okay. So let's get into the tag team titles. The tag team titles were officially changed today. We finally got the tag team titles that everybody had been waiting for. The new version of the tag team titles. They are no longer called the Raw tag team titles. They are the world tag team titles, and this is what they look like. They are a beautiful set of belts on TV. Now, online, they look a little muted out, and that has a lot to do with lighting from why the tag team titles look this way. But when you look at it on TV, they look really, really beautiful. The way that they have that tag world tag team across the front in the red to indicate it's a Raw title. I kind of wish that it wasn't in red, so again, though, when they move from show to show, they don't have to worry about, you know, switching titles because of the colors and the brand or whatever. I kind of wish they would have left the titles, a neutral color, made that background silver or gold, so it didn't matter where you were, because they did that with the women's titles, and they should have did that with these. But you know whatever works for you. But here's a better picture of the titles. I think they look absolutely stunning. R-Truth was cutting up. He called Triple H Tommaso Ciampa today, and Triple H thought he could hold it, but he broke. he broke. He broke character and was cracking up, and after that he left. And then we got a tag team number one contenders match between the Creed brothers, New Day, and DIY. Now, if you know, DIY was one half of the new Regeneration X. And they were the big help and aid, not in terms of the match that they had at Mania, but throughout leading up to Mania, they were working in tandem with Awesome Truth to try to take down Judgment Day. So now they're going to be facing off against each other for those tag team titles. And this is happening next Monday on Monday Night Raw. So this is a very interesting time, ladies and gentlemen. But the new Raw World Tag Team Championships, have been distributed. The boys got them. They look great. R-Truth and Miz took pictures with them, so you get to see the new renders with them having the titles. These titles are beautiful. I don't know who designed them, but whoever did, obviously, is based off of the world title, the world heavyweight title design. They gave it still the round look, but they made it a little bit more defined. They cut that leather down so that it wasn't so much extra belt, and it just looks like a prettier championship, in my opinion. I really like it. The contrast of colors, the gold pops off that black really nicely. It's a beautiful belt. It's a beautiful belt. Triple H is like, I'm getting rid of all of the bad juju in this damn company. These belts got to be changed. So a lot of people was asking me on my Instagram and on my TikTok, do I think that the belts on SmackDown are going to be changed as well? And the answer to that is yes, obviously. The titles are going to be switched off. They're going to change those titles out. And they're probably going to get a version of the W belt that the Undisputed Champion has. They're probably just going to make it just slightly smaller, put the W in the center, and they'll be the WWE Tag Team Champions for SmackDown, I guess. I'm not sure, but hopefully we'll be able to see those titles on Friday when Grayson Waller and Theory finally show up. Maybe we'll be able to see it. Okay. Now, let's move on because we saw some other matches tonight. They had a lot of women showcased on Raw today. So we had Maxine and Ivy Nile going up against Candice and Indy. And Indy has finally decided to join her pseudo mama and become a heel just like her and cheat to win, which is what they did against Maxine and Ivy. The ref was distracting Ivy, and Indy was able to kick Maxine in the face, pull Candice on her to get the win, and they both won the match. So good for them. Chelsea and Piper got a W over the former tag team champions, Kaden and Katana, in this match. I didn't get to see the full match all the way through, but I'm glad that Chelsea was able to pick up a win. She's been on a little bit of a losing streak as of lately in terms of tag team and singles competitor matches. So seeing Chelsea get a W on her brand show was a nice little touch for the new era of WWE. Okay. So we had that, and we talked about Gable, and then we talked about all of that. So let me see what else I missed. Oh, Andrade went up against oh God, who did Andrade go up against? Dominic Mysterio. Andrade went up against Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio lost to Andrade. He was then attacked by what's his face? What is his name? JD McDonough. JD McDonough then attacked Andrade, and that's when Ricochet came out to even the odds. So now next week it's going to be Ricochet and Andrade versus the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Now, after the match between Finn Balor and Jey Uso. Jey Uso did win this match between him and Finn. He was also attacked by the squad. Now, it didn't look like that this was something that Damian Priest had ordered by the Judgment Day. It seemed like he was a little perturbed that they had even crossed the line, but he didn't say anything. Finn Balor pushed him back and pretty much was like, come on, like, let's get this done. And then Jey Uso kicked old boy out the face, torpedoed through JD McDonough's big old head into Finn Balor's torso, which took him out because JD McDonough's head is a weapon of its own, child. If you get hit in the stomach with this fool's weapon, you are dead, okay? Because his head is enormous, ridiculously large, okay? And this is where it leads to the transition that Nicole was talking about earlier, because he went through the crowd. He went up the steps, out through the snack and area and concession stands, went outside, and that led straight to Sami Zayn, where he was standing and looking up at the building and pretty much reminiscing about the first time that he ever competed in that building, the first time he saw a show in that building, and that was when he wanted to become a wrestler. Then you watch Sami Zayn. Hold on, y'all, because my thing just... Then you watch Sami Zayn literally walk from the concession stands over to his side of the to go to the arena, and you see him pop up, and it's crazy because of the way that they did it. It was nuts. So y'all hold tight, because I gotta fix this. Hold on.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't deserve.
Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me. Rolling 80 wheels into the city. Riding on you. Gotta roll OT, gotta give her release. Spread your legs down, I'm going out to eat. The raw sounds on the rock.
Alrighty, y'all. So it led to a beautiful transition of Sami walking through the crowd, and of course, everybody being hyped because Sami is the hometown hero. This led to a banger of a match between Chad and Sami. They fought very hard, but ultimately, Chad Gable lost once again and was not able to gain that Intercontinental Championship and be a singles champion. He's never had a singles championship ever. So this stuck in Chad Gable's craw. He gave Sammy some dap, let him have his moment, but as soon as he was over there with his family, he went on the attack and took him out. And what it showed us when it went off was Sami Zayn hanging from the top of the ring post and Chad Gable standing over him on one of the turnbuckles. So it was a lot. It was a lot going on Raw, but I'll tell you what, all of the people who want to be champion, including Liv in terms of the women's title, we saw Nia Jax and Liv Morgan speak on the matter. Nia Jax pretty much made it very clear that nobody was on her level and nobody was taking that championship from her. And if they got in her way, she was going to make them pay for it. Now, Liv Morgan made it very clear that she was on her revenge tour and it's not going to end just at her taking out Rhea Ripley. She said that she wants the championship and she wants to be champion. So it's possible that she could end up going after that title next week as well. As far as I know, they have not detailed how this title is going to be, won by another competitor. Let me see if I can log into my Twitter and see if they put it up there. But I don't think that they did. I don't think they did, y'all. Let me see. I'm going to go and see what I can find. I thought I had it up on the page, but I did not. So I'm going to go see what they said. I'm going to go see what some people had. Yeah, he had him in that in that ankle lock on the top turnbuckle. That's what fucked him up. My bad. I don't see it. So they didn't really announce how they were going to do this or how the new champion for the women was going to be crowned. They didn't say that. They just said that a new champion was going to be crowned. That's all did I remember. Yeah, so they only said that the championship is going to be crowned next Monday. And who do you think is going to be B. Jeffers? Because I know you've been to say something ignorant because you would have. Those are the only two women who have come forward to say anything. I never said it was going to be Liv or Nia. Me personally, I do want it to be Nia Jax. I feel like Nia has put in enough work to be able to be champion, whether it be for a minimal amount of time or for a long time. She's earned the right to be champion. So you still ain't said who the curve boy choice, Colin Brown choice is. Is that your curveball choice? Because if it is, I'm going to slap you through this damn computer. Just skippity paps. Anyways, y'all. There was also something else that happened on Monday Night Raw today. There was a QR code that was put up during the show. I didn't catch it. I wasn't watching when this QR code came up, but they did put it up there. And this is the cryptic message that we got from the QR code. Now, I'm not. Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure as to what this is or what it says. It looks like it says something, but I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to decipher it. This is not my thing. So B. Jeffers says, in regards to the women's title, but they in Columbus, Ohio next week. Yes, they are in Columbus. I see a gauntlet match, and the final entrant is Alexa. I will be honest. I wouldn't be mad at how much that would stick in people's craw. Me personally, I would love to see Bliss back. Um, if she's ready to go and she can go, yeah, hell yeah, do it. But again, I stand by having Nia Jax as the new champion instead of giving it to Bliss, especially with Bliss being gone as long as she has. My thing is give it to somebody who already has drawn the heat and the ire of the crowd. While I'm not the biggest fan of Nia's mic work, I can say 100% that her her ring work has severely improved and she looks damn near immaculate in the ring no matter who she goes up against. So she has done extremely well in terms of her ring work. Mic skills, depends on who she's going up against. My Nia can get ate up on any day with just about anybody, but she's okay. She's not great, she's okay. So back to this particular cryptic message. Alexis says it's a cipher. Okay. Okie dokie. I don't know what that means. So I'm just gonna say okay. Because I know it's like a cryptic message, but the brain does not compute is the best way to explain it. And I'm just okay. Let me see. She said when you scan the QR code, they show two different gibberish codes. If you combine the two codes together, it gave a website. I sent the video in the group chat and posted it on my IG page. So it's the one where they have the picture of both of them, which I do have that one. I just don't have it right here in my phone. All right. So Alexis cracked the code, so shout out to her. But I would do a gauntlet match for real and give it to Nia, if not Shayna or Natty. Natty because it's someone who can work. If you want someone other than Becky, can be a workhorse. Shayna can also be a workhorse, and so can Nia. I do not want to see Natalya with that championship. I'm sorry. Y'all might be mad at me for that, but that's not something that I want to see. I'm sorry. Give it to Nia. Shayna's another good option. Give it to her. If it's let me in, I'm screaming, hello all. Okay. All right. So the draft is coming up. We got one more week until the draft. Okay, the draft begins next Friday. Not this coming Friday, but next Friday. And then that following Monday is when the draft begins, which is probably why they want to get a champion on with that belt as quickly as possible because the draft is going to start. All right, so yeah, the first three is WWE. Interesting. She's talking about the cipher. Okay, so we'll talk about potential draftees and where we want people to go, and we'll do a mock draft on Wednesday when I do the Wednesday freestyle live. That way we can have a little bit of fun with the draft and kind of, see where we want people to go. And I'll also see if we can do it on the podcast and see what the girls will say in the mock draft. Unless we want to do it live, and I'll talk to them about it later. But anyways, the draft is coming up. SummerSlam is coming up August 3rd. This is the official poster next to the Logan Paul poster for SummerSlam. And they're going to be in Cleveland at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Ain't that some shit? It's my home. It's my hometown, babes. It's my place. It's my love. Right? Also, this year we got Bash in Berlin on August 31st. That's literally like what, a few weeks, maybe 3 after they come to Cleveland for SummerSlam. So it's a quick turnaround for Bash in Berlin. Prior to that, they've got Money in the Bank in July, and then they've got King of the Ring, and Queen of the Ring happening over in Saudi, which I don't know when that's gonna happen just as of yet. But I'm sure when I get the full breakdown, I will let you guys know. Alexis is giving y'all the code if you want to break this to see what was given to you guys online today. Matter of fact, let me see if I can show y'all right now. I'll show y'all right now so y'all can see it. That way you ain't got to go through no trouble. Okay. Everything I do for y'all. UEDNJ. UEDNJ 51A. 51A. What does this mean? Let me screen share this so y'all can see. Maybe y'all a little bit more intuitive than I am. But what does this mean? I have no idea what this means, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you, Alexis. I have no idea what this means. None whatsoever. But I'm very curious. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of a scene in what's the movie? It's in Indiana Jones. It's in the first one. He's inside of that room where they finally find out where the cup of Christ is. And he had to use the right height of the pole to get it. It was on a stick and it needed to go through this particular amulet that he had, through the ruby on the amulet, and like literally cast that shadow, or matter of fact, I can't explain it. It makes me, there's nothing to click on, babe. I'm clicking. I did click it. It did not play anything. The video is on the bottom. Okay. All right. So I'll play the video in a second. I did. My God. You think so? How did you come to that one, young boy Jay? Did it pop into your head? Did it pop into your head? Yes, I'm aware that it's Bo Dallas. I'm aware that Bo Dallas may have some friends with him. The point is, you want to understand what he's trying to tell us. Not who it is, but what he's trying to tell us, love. That's what we're looking at. My God. My God, today. Oh, my children. My poor, poor children. Things will be better. Trust me. What the fuck does that mean? Because somebody who's a little bit more intuitive, tell me what that means. I'm usually a little bit more insightful than this, but I am lost. I have not. I have not seen that symbol before. I don't know what that means. I'm very, very lost. I'm gonna play it again. I have no idea what it means. No whatsoever. I don't know where she is. I have no idea. She usually be yelling at me in the comments right now, but she's not. I have no idea. I'm gonna play it one more time so you guys can see it. Okie dokie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for now. On Friday, there are a few things that have been announced for Friday Night SmackDown. All right. Bailey will defend her women's championship or WWE Women's Championship against Naomi. This is a opportunity Naomi decided to earn instead of being gifted by Bailey. And then, of course, there's going to be, we already know that AJ Styles is going to be facing off against LA Knight. And the winner will be the one to challenge Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, at Backlash France. My apologies. And of course, the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships will be revealed, obviously. So I'm very curious about that. With all that being said, ladies and gents, I am going to get my ass out of here. Okay? I knew I seen that somewhere before. It's the sign for Pluto. It looks familiar. And Pluto was the Roman god of the underworld. This is definitely more your speed and more your expertise, Alexis, than it is mine. So I will be relying on you for more information. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. Don't forget, Wednesday, we're going to do a mock draft. So if you have ideas of where you want people to be drafted in the mock draft, send them to me. Okay, you can DM me over on Twitter or you can DM me on Instagram. All right. I will put up polls on my Instagram. I might put up a poll on Twitter to see where people want certain people to go in the mock draft. And then we'll do a mock draft on Wednesday and see how that works out for you. It's going to be a tedious time for me on Wednesday. I'm going to be writing out a lot of people's names and seeing where they can go. It's going to be interesting. Now, Wednesday, hopefully Tuesday, hopefully they'll start the NXT Women's North American Championship and see what we're going to get with that on Wednesday. And we're also going to get a steel cage match between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Okay. This is going to be the last round bout fight between these two. And Carmelo Hayes has vowed that Trick Williams will not make it to spring breaking to fight Ilya Dragunov for that NXT championship. However, I think that he will make it, and I think that they are going to battle it out. I also think that Trick Williams is going to become the new NXT champion. It's going to be an interesting time in NXT with all the titles changing, possibly people leaving, going to different brands. It's going to be very, very interesting. But you guys stick around because tomorrow I'll be back to talk about what happened on NXT. And again, on Wednesday, we'll do the mock draft. So if you have your ideas, go ahead and send them to me in my DMs, and I will talk to y'all next time. Y'all have a good night, and please do not forget, ladies and gentlemen,